Welcome to Ocean County Focus. I'm Donna Flynn, your host. Joining me today is Ocean County Commissioner Joe Vicari, Chairman of the Office of Senior Services, and Maria LaFace, Director of the Office of Senior Services for Ocean County. We're talking about some changes to senior programs, some additional funding that has come into the county, and a little bit about property tax relief here in New Jersey. Thank you both for joining me today. Seniors in Ocean County, Joe, this has been an office that you have worked with for a number of years. Over 200,000 seniors that live in Ocean County. Everybody went through a difficult period with COVID, but now there's some additional funds flowing into the county to kind of help meet some of the priorities, or at least continue the priority programs that you guys take care of. What's the significance of this?
Well, I think it's very important to state that we're very fortunate in Ocean County to be blessed with over 200,000 senior citizens. They add a lot to us as far as their volunteering things and their time to Ocean County, the money that comes in with their pension fund, but also they make a major contribution in many different areas. And what we have done in Ocean County for many years, we have a very comprehensive program that is more comprehensive not only in Ocean County and the state of New Jersey, but in the United States. We make sure we give our senior citizens the dignity and independence that they're entitled to. Many of them served in World War II or the Korean War. They went through Depression, and now they're in a time in their life where they say, you know something, we want to be taken care of, we want a good quality of life. And we've been very fortunate this year to receive an additional $1.4 million in the American Rescue Plan money. So it's in addition to what we have received in the past. So what we're doing, we're enhancing our programs. One program that we've been very close to in Ocean County is food insecurity. A lot of our seniors, especially now with inflation, have a very difficult time feeding themselves, putting food on the table. So what we're going to do is to enhance that program. We're going to have congregate care centers, several throughout Ocean County. We're going to make sure that the support services are enhanced. So we had excellent services, but we're going to add more to it. So for this year, what we want to do with Maria LaFace, who's been in charge of the program as director for the last 4 years, is to let our senior citizens know we are there to help them every single day. But this additional money is very, very important. So it's a combination of using federal dollars for our programs. A lot of it is the County of Ocean. We put a lot of money into it.
Yeah, and I just wanted to clarify there too, as you said, you used the word enhance for these programs. These programs are all funded already.
They're all funded, they're all in existence right now. So what we're doing is we're not creating new programs, but we're adding more to additional service that we can do, and a lot of outreach programs. You know, one time a senior was in their 70s or 80s. Now we're getting more 90, 95, and 100 years old. So the need is there, but sometimes our seniors are a little bit too proud to go and ask for help. And it's not like an entitlement program. It's something that as Americans we want to do. We want to take care of our senior citizens, and we want to make sure Ocean County is a great place for our seniors not only to retire, but to live a good life.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. Maria, when the commissioner's talking about, you know, the use of the funding to enhance programs, how did you set the priorities for this additional funding that's coming in?
We did a needs assessment. We surveyed clients and our stakeholders. And Donna, to be honest with you, looking at the call volume and the issues that they're calling for, our seniors are calling for, that tells us what they need. And since the pandemic, we've been gathering that information, and we used it then to set the priorities for what we will be funding with the American Rescue Plan.
And can you just review a little bit of what are the programs in particular that would be getting some of this funding?
As the Commissioner referred to, we already have an existing home delivered meal program. There's never sufficient funds there, so we are going to be using some of that to expand those programs. The other hope is to expand our congregate sites. It's not just about getting food, it's also about getting them back out and socializing. And so we're putting funds into congregate sites. The other issue that's come up is home repairs and home modifications. The goals of all of our programs are to keep people independent. And if they're going to live independently in standalone homes, they're going to need repairs and modifications, ramps and lifts, and things like that, grab bars, bathroom modifications. So with this money, we'll be able to serve more residents. And others. There are transportation and home health aides, which we're always looking to expand, and we're going to use some of this money for that issue as well. but we'll talk about challenges later.
Right, right. Commissioner, when we talk about the home delivered meal program, and this is something that's been out there for a long time, I know you have a very strong philosophy as to what exactly that is delivering to your seniors. Talk about that a little
Well,
bit.
I'll tell you what's so important about that. The people that deliver the food to our senior citizens, it's not just delivering the food. It's knocking on the door, it's saying hello, how do you feel, do you need anything, is there any problem, do we have to go and get to the mailbox? That's what's very important. It's the communication, and many seniors get that just once a day sometimes with the person delivering the food.
Sure.
Also, it's well balanced according to federal standards as being a well-balanced meal for our senior citizens. So we make sure they eat properly. One day in an emergency room, what it costs, we can
Right.
feed a senior citizen for 1 full year.
Right.
So it's better, easier for us, and it's the right thing to do to show our sensitivity to our senior citizens to make sure they get that home-delivered meals. We have probably one of the best programs in the state of New Jersey. It's a model program, okay, to others. But a lot of our seniors, it's not just that. It's they cannot use the stove, for an example.
Sure, sure.
They leave it on. They forget about it. And there's no possible way they can cook for themselves. Unfortunately, in many cases, the husband and wife, one passes away.
Right.
The children live out of the area, sometimes out of the state. So they don't get that food. That's a lifeline. They don't eat at all that particular day. And we have found it's been very, very successful year after year as far as expanding our program. It's getting more expensive because, of course, as the salaries are going up,
Right.
the cost of gasoline is going up, the price of food is going up.
Right.
So we only ask for a modest donation if they can afford it from our senior citizens. But I think the most important thing is that we realize the importance that no senior citizen in Ocean County should go hungry.
Absolutely.
And as of this time now, with the extra money we have from the Board of Commissioners in Ocean County and from the state of New Jersey, we will enhance that program this year to cut back on the waiting list. Right now, as far as I know, there's no waiting list, and it's very difficult to do sometimes.
Right.
So when people call up and they need assistance, we're there to help.
Maria, as far as the congregate nutrition sites, I know that they had been closed during COVID, clearly because we just tried to keep people separated and that sort of thing. But how are they moving along now? Are they, most of them, reopened, or where are we with, where is the county with that?
Very exciting to see how our seniors want to be out and about and engaging. And so, yes, we've opened up a site in Waretown. We also opened up a site in the Manchester area, in addition to the sites that we had prior to COVID. And it's going well. It's exciting to see them engaging, talking, laughing, and eating.
Right, right. And that's wonderful to hear. We're actually going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking more about senior services here in Ocean County. We'll be right back.
When it comes to getting around Ocean County, Ocean Ride is ready to serve you. Hi, I'm Freeholder Gary Quinn. Ocean Ride is a service of the Ocean County Board of Chosen Freeholders that provides a host of transportation alternatives to Ocean County residents. If you need to get to a doctor, if you want to take a trip to the shopping mall, or if you rely on public transportation to get to work, we have the solution for you. For more information on Ocean Ride services and bus schedules, call 732-736-8989 extension 4 or visit our website. Try Ocean Ride. We'll get you where you need to go.
The Ocean County Board of Commissioners encourages residents to recycle right, with information from their all-new educational guides. This information provides guidelines for everyday recycling, as well as how to dispose of bulky and potentially dangerous hazardous waste. This information is available at every municipality's town hall, library, recycling center, and at the County Connection inside the Ocean County Mall. The Ocean County Board of Commissioners, working to make Ocean County a better place to live, and a special place to visit. The Ocean County Board of Commissioners, working to make Ocean County a better place to call home, and a special place to visit.
Welcome back to Ocean County Focus. Joining me today is Ocean County Commissioner Joe Vaccari, Chairman of the Office of Senior Services, and Maria LaFace, Director of the Office of Senior Services here in Ocean County. We're talking about senior programs, and when we went to the break before, we were talking about additional funds that have come in and some of the help that that will provide to our seniors, but we also know that accessing programs and all of these programs come with challenges, and seniors are experiencing a lot of challenges, and I wanted you to address some of those challenges, Joe.
And that's what's happening right now. As far as we have more challenges now than ever before with our senior program. And one of the reasons why we know that is our outreach programs. We have an advisory board. We have over 91 different senior communities, and they come to us and said, look, these are the challenges. Our seniors are getting older and there's more of a need. One of the biggest needs which we're addressing right now is food insecurity. They need nutritional food delivered to their homes. There's no way possible they can cook or go out or go any place. And friends and neighbors, it's just not like it used to be. So not only food insecurity, but it's keeping the house that's important. As far as paying the taxes, repairs, calling a repairman in. They have a very difficult time in doing that. And some of the houses they purchased many, many years ago, 25, 30, even 35 years ago, need updates,
Absolutely.
They need repairs, and sometimes, for an example, in many houses, the hot water tank may not work, or the refrigerator is broken, and different things like that. And now as the winter approaches, they have a difficult time, for an example, paying for the heating bills.
Sure.
And that's one of the reasons why we have special programs, but it's very important that they call our office and they ask for help. We've been very fortunate in senior communities where it's neighbor helping neighbor. And that's one concept that's very important to us. But the additional monies that we have coming in this year is extremely important because we will do more to meet these challenges for the year coming. But I think the most important thing is now we have people that are very dedicated in Ocean County that are not only willing to help, but now we have the financial resources to meet their needs.
Right. Maria, what are you seeing as the greatest challenges coming through your office? I mean, again, you're right there picking up the phones all the time and that sort of thing. What are you looking at?
From a department perspective, I think one challenge is the volume, just the sheer volume of calls and how we can meet the need that's coming in.
Right.
Some of the volume is because they can't access programs. A lot of programs they need. For instance, there was a water assistance program you can only apply online.
Okay.
If they have no one to help, and that's
Right.
growing more and more,
Right.
access is through online,
Right.
they're calling us. So
Right.
the demand for those kinds of simple things is hard to meet.
Right.
The other struggles that we're having are our nonprofits.
Right.
Can't hire or lost people.
Right.
Building that experience and capacity back up is a struggle, and it's happening at the same time that the demand is growing.
Sure.
We have new people learning very complicated areas, Medicare open enrollment, those kinds of things. Losing experience there is a struggle. So
Sure.
we're building that capacity. Another struggle is just losing whole entire industries like home health aides.
Right.
We've been talking about it for a long time, but it is just a dying career because it's very challenging.
Right.
You can make the same kind of money at a McDonald's or a much less strenuous job when the minimum wage has increased. So
Sure.
no one's going to want to take those kinds of jobs. So those are the kinds of struggles. It's the sheer volume,
Right.
the capacity of the network, and then the challenges of losing critical services like home health aides.
Right. So, Commissioner, how do we tell our seniors, though, that we're going to help you?
Well, first of all, with the staff that we have, they're doing more work than ever before. And the second thing we tell our seniors is, look, we have the resources, and sometimes we may have to look at outsourcing it to get some
Right.
help from other places.
Right.
The health service is very competitive now. They're paying more, and they're taking jobs from one place to another place.
Sure.
And the worker is saying, look, where can I get the most money for what I'm doing, because it's a very stressful job. But we are meeting the needs in Ocean County. We have
Right.
dedicated people. And as a former educator, I try to encourage our young people, go in the healthcare industry in some way. There's a lot of things you can do. It's not just in health services, it's technicians and in the medical industry. And it's basically recession proof.
Sure.
You will always have a job. You will never get laid off. We value what you do every single day.
Right.
But the training is very important. But our younger people don't have the zeal and they're not as zealous as they were years ago.
Sure.
I remember when I first got married, my wife was a nurse, and she went to nursing school, and that was a very important thing to become a nurse. I'm giving something back to the community.
Absolutely, yes.
I want to serve my community. And it was very rewarding. It's harder to get younger people because, in all fairness, in other areas, they pay more.
Right.
There's less stress. There's
Right.
different working conditions. Some of them can work at home. Whereas if you're in the healthcare industry, in business anyway, you have to physically be there.
Right, right.
And that's what's very difficult for us
Sure.
to do. So we hope with the money that we have, we can upgrade some of the positions that we do have. We can encourage people. We can take the workload off some of our people in the healthcare industry, and we can teach the value of helping other people.
Right. I mean, there's when you, because again, when you're talking about 200,000 seniors living in one area, there is a need for all of this. So it's good to hear that, as much of the volume as it is, we're still providing the help. Now, I want to jump in or segue into another topic that is always on the mind of everybody, and that's property tax relief. And now we've got a bunch of, some different programs that are out there that might be causing some confusion, but will provide property tax relief. So let's talk a little bit about the new Anchor program that the state recently launched.
One of the reasons why the seniors came to Ocean County was the cost of living, housing was affordable, taxes. There are two programs in the state of New Jersey that when we talk about it independently because it does get confusing. There's the Anchor program, which is one, and there's the property tax freeze.
Right.
So whenever we talk about it, we always talk about it one at a time. We don't commingle it. The Anchor program involves everyone. And over the last month or so, everyone received, it looks like a card or an advertisement.
Right, right.
A lot of people have thrown it out thinking it is an advertisement.
Probably
they
a
put
problem.
it in a recyclable bin and everything
Oh,
else.
boy.
So we could have said, no. This could be money to virtually everybody in Ocean County.
Right, right.
But the Anchor program is totally different than anything else. So I encourage everyone, the day you get it, either fill it out, make a phone call, go online, whatever you have to do to get registered for it, because it goes back to 2019. That's why it's a little confusing sometimes, because on the pamphlet you get, it says 2019.
Yeah.
So fortunately, we're getting a message across. The next issue we have, if we're not going to talk about the Anchor program, is the property tax freeze.
Right.
That applies to those with disabilities and our senior citizens.
Okay.
And the numbers have changed substantially. And that's why it's so important sometimes that we have people in our department that are trained and they understand it and they know it. And that's why, Marie LaFace, our biggest challenge this year is to explain to our senior citizens. It has been extended and expanded as far as the amount of money that you make. It's been expanded as far as who qualifies for it, but it's very, very important, and we're doing everything possible to make sure our senior citizens know that there's two different, separate, distinct programs
Right.
out there.
Right.
The property tax freeze goes back many, many years, and it's very important to us. And we fought continuously on the Board of Commissioners to make sure that we maintain that. Even in different times, several years ago, we were going to do away with the property tax freeze. We said, no, it's
Right.
too important to us in Ocean County
Right.
because a senior cannot lose their house because they can't pay their taxes.
And actually, we're going to take another quick break, and we're going to come back and talk a little bit more about these property tax relief programs, and we're going to be right back here on Ocean County Focus.
November 11th is Veterans Day, and Ocean County salutes our veterans. Hello, I am Ocean County Commissioner Gary Quinn. We are so very proud of the more than 30,000 veterans who call Ocean County home, and we are asking our citizens to remember them on Veterans Day. Whether you attend a parade in your town or take part in a ceremony at the VFW, American Legion, or Vietnam Veterans Post, you have the opportunity to say thank you to the men and women who have given so much to make certain our freedom is preserved and our democracy is safe. If you see a veteran, shake his or her hand and thank them for their service to America. On Veterans Day and throughout the year, Ocean County salutes all of our soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, and Coast Guardsmen. Thank you for your service.
The Ocean County Board of Commissioners, working to make Ocean County a better place to call home and a special place to visit. Ocean County Board of Commissioners, working to make Ocean County a better place to call home and a special place to visit.
And welcome back to Ocean County Focus. When we went to the break, we were talking about the property tax relief programs that are now available. And there's actually been a couple of them, some a little bit confusing, but we want people to make sure that they tap into all of them because that's always a big question. So Maria, I wanted to ask you first, can seniors call your office for help with applying for these programs or finding out about these programs?
Yes. And I would strongly suggest, particularly this year, that seniors do call
Right.
because of the change in the property tax programs. They can call our office and we will guide them through all of them.
Okay.
And so that's the easiest way.
Yeah, I mean, and again, we were talking a little bit during the break too about accessing a lot of these programs, and a lot of them are now through online. So how are our seniors managing with that?
They're not. They're struggling, and they're turning to our office
Right.
to help them through that process. And so we've been advocating on a state level. You have to remember there's this technology
Yes.
gap. Those that need access to the programs are those that do not have it.
Right.
You know, those that need it most. And
Right.
so, but yeah, you're right. That is a problem. Fortunately, we will handle those calls, and we will make sure that they access all of the property tax relief programs that they need.
Right, and again, the property tax programs that are currently on the table or currently being applied for are the Anchor program,
Correct.
the Senior Freeze program. Now, there's still two separate programs. They're not, one didn't take over the other one. And there's also a Veterans program. Can you just address that just a little bit?
Yeah, just a little. So the Anchor program is completely separate from Senior Freeze, and as the commissioner mentioned, everyone is eligible for it if they meet the income qualifications, which have been increased. It is also, renters are also eligible for the first time.
Right.
That's one program.
Right.
The other program is specific to seniors and disabled residents, and that is the property tax relief, more commonly known as the Senior Freeze.
Right, okay.
And that's the other program that'll freeze your property tax once you're eligible. And then there are programs that are property tax credits, and that's a $250 credit that's available for seniors and disabled residents. And there's also a veterans exemption. So if you're 100% disabled as a veteran, there's a property tax exemption.
Okay.
So they get confusing, and I would strongly recommend anybody call our office to discuss them because we know they need access to
Absolutely.
these programs.
Yeah, we'll provide the phone number before the end of the show too. I think that would help a lot of our folks. Another thing that's on the table, Commissioner, we've heard a lot of talk about the big increase coming in, I guess, 2023 for Social Security. You have 200,000 seniors living in Ocean County. Social Security clearly has a big impact on this county. Talk about the increase that's coming up for them in the new year.
Well, Social Security is very important to us in Ocean County, and there's a couple of reasons for it. Because a lot of our seniors that retired many, many years ago live on Social Security. And the second reason is that for many years they didn't receive any increase. So as the cost of inflation went up, the cost of living went up, and everything else went up, they didn't get any increase. So now this year we're going to get, starting in January, 8.7% increase in Social Security. But inflation went up more so.
Right.
So it costs more, so they lost the entire benefit of the 8.7%.
Right.
So the Board of Commissioners will lead in a fight to, of course, increase it again next year and the year after that. But they have to realize something else, that this is money that's vital to us so seniors can pay their bills and
Sure.
live with respect and independence. And what's been happening is that the money that comes in billions of dollars a year in Social Security and pension funds basically makes Ocean County recession-proof.
Sure.
And that's why it's extremely important to us. The money's used wisely. The money's used for the basic necessities of life. So again, Social Security is very important to us. The seniors have been living on it for many, many years. Many of them have outlived their estate as far as what it's worth. And they live from paycheck to paycheck, and they wait for that Social Security check.
Sure. Do you think it's fair that the increase is based on a cost of living, an inflationary index for that, or should that just be increased, on a certain amount every year?
Well, what we've been doing for the last 10 years, we've been trying to change the formula to make it more realistic of what's taking place.
Right.
And that's what's very important. So again, it's up to the federal government. We urge people to talk to their congressmen and the United States senators and start saying, look, We want to live a good life, and we want to live with respect and dignity. We want to stay in our own house. We paid into it for many, many years. It was a promise that America has made to Americans
Sure.
that have worked all their lives, taking care of their families, and now it's time for us to take care of our senior citizens.
And in Ocean County, you do that.
We work hard at it every
Sure,
single day.
sure. What about the Medicare program?
First?
Yeah.
I want to say that for the first time ever, Social Security has increased, and the Medicare premium that they take out is not. So people are very excited. Normally,
Yes.
the increase in their Social Security
We'll cover that.
is just taken away with the increase in the Medicare. And so we were very excited. I think it may even be $6 less, but don't quote me.
Right.
In the aging world, it's big news.
Sure, sure.
As far as Medicare, it is now open enrollment.
Right.
And it started on October 15th, and now it's going until the 7th of December.
Okay.
And it is a time when anyone can come in, seniors can come in, and we will review their plans, make sure that they're in the most appropriate plan, the most affordable plan, and the one that meets their health needs. Because oftentimes they're in plans that they're paying extraordinary amounts for that don't necessarily meet their
Right.
needs. And so we have very unbiased, qualified, experienced counselors who will sit down, go over medications, go over your doctors, compare plans with you, and guide you through that process. And if you haven't done it as a senior, it's really important that you do that. You can save a lot of money
Right.
if you're in the wrong plan.
Right, it sounds very helpful too. Those are the state health insurance
Exactly,
program
exactly.
counselors. So that sounds like it's very, very helpful to our seniors. Can you, talk also a little bit, Maria, about where are your offices now located? I know that you've had a bit of an expansion as far as physical offices too. Where can people go to physically access your services?
So yes, we have had an expansion, and we're excited about it. We've just moved into the Ocean County Southern Center in Manahawkin. They can access services there. We have our site at the County Connection in the mall, which is easily accessible for seniors. And then we have our main office on 1027 Hooper Avenue.
Okay.
And so any one of those locations, and hopefully very soon, we will be mobile. In the meantime, we are scheduling outreach events at all of the adult communities, because the goal really is, with the ability of laptops and cell phones, we can do some of that work on site, making
Sure.
it even easier. And so call us, and if we can schedule it at an adult community, we'll come down and we'll bring our assistants right to you. Otherwise, those three offices.
Yeah, accessibility to the services really does play a key part of this. We have about a minute left to this. So what do you want to tell your seniors living here in Ocean County?
Well, I want to tell our senior citizens we are here to help them. But I want to tell them something else. The next time you see members of your family in the house, the younger generation people, your grandchildren, tell them something very important. Encourage them to get into the healthcare industry as far as not only going to school, it's a good, self-rewarding profession, it's a job for life, and you'll feel good when you help other people. We need younger people to get involved in healthcare. Would it be in healthcare, working in a hospital, a technician, or something in the industry? Unfortunately, the focus in this country has been outside the healthcare industry.
Right, right.
And there's jobs available every single time. We have a major shortage, not only throughout Ocean County, but throughout the United States, but more so in Ocean County. So again, we're here to help our seniors. We need help as far as younger people to get involved. And there's a lot of opportunities for men and women, not just now, but in the future.
And actually, Maria, the last question is, what's the phone number to call?
732-929-2091. You can call that office, and we will direct you to anywhere you need to go.
Thank you both so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us here on Ocean County Focus. Have a great day.
The Ocean County Board of Commissioners, working to make Ocean County a better place to call home and a special place to visit.